all you highly sensitive and empathic people. Today's topic is about your emotions and how easily you can be affected by other people's emotions, like you can absorb them and sense them and take them on as your own. So today I'm going to talk about the science of your emotions and how you can help yourself and protect yourself from other people's emotions. Stay tuned to hear more. This is Anastasia. I used to be a physics professor specializing in vibrational and quantum physics. After recovering from a serious illness using energy healing on myself, the calling to heal became so strong that I had to quit my 40-year research career. I replaced my 6-figure professor salary within 5 months using a simple but not easy 3-step system that I worked out to grow my healing practice. Now I help other healers grow their practices, whether they're just starting or already have a practice, with this same 3-step system. I'm all about helping you too. Listen in to learn more. I'm so glad you're back. And today's topic, as I said, is the science of your emotions. So the first thing that you probably all realize is that your emotions have an energy or a frequency. And some of you may recognize that as the Hawkins scale, for example, like shame and guilt are way at the bottom, and joy and enlightenment are all the way at the top, right? So when you're feeling in shame and guilt, your energy field is contracted and you're feeling very small, and just think about it, your body positions and your facial expressions also match those emotions. And so the second thing is that your emotions can be transferred from one person to another. And research has shown that your heart radiates emotions, and as it radiates, the emotions that are happy and joy and so on are at a high frequency, and we can absorb those. They actually feel good on those of us that are sensitive. So when people are happy around me, my skin feels all warm and cozy, like somebody is giving me a hug, right? And then if somebody is feeling angry or upset, the thing that happens is that it feels like somebody poured itching powder on me, right? And itching powder is very, very uncomfortable. And so the research shows that the waveform of the low frequency emotions like anger or sadness will look like a wave with jaggies on it, right? So it'll be, instead of a nice smooth formed wave that has a high frequency, it's going to have a low frequency. It just bobbles up and down, and that's exactly how it feels, like somebody is pouring itching powder on me. So what can you do? So the further science is that the emotions resonate along the meridians. And the meridians kind of act like a stringed instrument. And a stringed instrument, if you think about it, if you have like a guitar and you have 2 posts on the guitar, the lowest frequency sound that it can make is if the guitar string is half the wavelength. So in other words, the wavelength is really long, that's a very low frequency, and that will be the lowest tone you'll hear. But if you were to take a frequency analyzer and listen to it, you would also see in that frequency analyzer is that a single wave on there, which is twice the frequency or half the wavelength, also can come off of that string. And then you can also have one in which there's 1.5 waves in there, and so on. So you'll see that the frequency then gets multiplied, and you'll see all those lines in the frequency analyzing spectrum, is what we call it. So that means that all of your meridians can carry more than one emotion, right? That's why if you look at some of the emotion charts, for example, if you studied the emotion code, there's an emotion chart that has all your 12 meridians and several emotions that resonate along those meridians. So that is telling you that you can change what those emotions that are resonating in your body, right? There's a way to change them, and I'll just go into that in just a moment. And one of the ways, of course, is that your body and your emotions are in constant communication with one another. If you are sitting upright, right, and you put a smile on your face, after a while, your body goes, oh, you must be happy, and your emotions start to adjust because your bodily hormones and all of those neurotransmitters start to change. Right? And this is also research done at Harvard University, right? Where you stand up straight or you stand in an expanded state, that's telling your body that it's safe, right? And that means your oomph goes up and your stress goes down. Likewise, if you change it and hunch over, which is in a defensive state, and you put your head down, which is sad or droopy, right? When you put your head down, then the frequencies that are carried in your meridians will be dropped down because your neurotransmitters and hormones will also shift. So there's a real science to how the emotions are running in your body. So here's what to do about it. First of all, motion also changes your emotional state, not just your posture, but motion. It's really hard to stay depressed while you're in motion. And a lot of, it was discovered quite some time ago that a psychologist discovered that when he took his depressed patients on walks while he therapized them, they felt better. It's really hard to get a depressed person up and moving around. I know this because when you have somebody in constant pain, like my son has had fibromyalgia for a lot of years, he's figuring out how to deal with it and how to tolerate, or not tolerate, but bring his own mood up without taking mood enhancers, right? When somebody is depressed, it's really hard to get them up to move around. But once you do get them up to move around, they start to feel better. So tip number 1 for getting your emotions to a better state, into a higher state, into higher frequencies along your meridians, is to move. Right? This morning I did a whole bunch of weightlifting and it made me feel better immediately. And the next thing I'll do is, after I finish recording this, is I'll go for a nice long walk and I'll come back and finish my work, right? So getting to move is really, really important. Number 2 is stop feeding yourself depressants. So smoking is a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant. For some people that work the other way, smoking and drinking energizes them. Those are the people that are ADD. Like my ex-husband, if he drinks, he got energized. Of course, then he'd go into a depressive state because alcohol is a body depressant, right? Other depressants include things like starches, sugars. Those are also body depressants. Some of us that get nervous and feel nervous will tend to eat more carbohydrates. That's one of my things, is they'll eat more carbohydrates and it'll calm them down. Like, it's almost impossible for me to sleep through the night without having some carbohydrate before I go to bed. I usually eat a banana. It's very, very helpful. And I avoid them mostly during the day, right? So this is really important for you to know, right? And it also can help you regulate your weight, right? By moving and avoiding depressive foods. So those are two things that you can do. Of course, the third thing is to get your body into a state of excitement, right? Expand out, hold your shoulders back, take some nice deep breaths. Imagine the breath going all the way down into your fingers and toes. As you do that, your body will start to relax and expand and move into a higher energy state, and your mood will improve. So I've already talked to you about how to protect yourself from other people's emotions and energy, but this will help protect you. These steps will help protect you and help you recognize what's happening with you. I hope that was helpful. So what I covered is that emotions have frequency and energy. They're governed along your meridians. Your meridians can hold more than one frequency. They're usually in multiples of one another. Your body and emotions are in constant communication, and you can shift your state by shifting or changing your posture. Motion changes your emotional state. And last is there are certain foods that are depressive and will promote that depressive or lower frequency energy in your emotions. So you can help protect your emotions by keeping your body from being depressed. Oh, and there's one last thing I wanted to mention about depressive states is if you're allergic to something, right? If you have a food sensitivity or an allergy, that can also drive your energy down. And so the last is to avoid foods that you have a sensitivity to, at least for now, until that sensitivity is healed. Okay, that's all for today. I hope that was helpful for you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. For further training on healing and growing your healing business using my 3-step system, go to www.highpaidhealers.com. And I'll see you in the next video.